Hi there, it's Wade McMaster here. In today's video, I'm just going to be walking through some basic Facebook page optimizations you can make for your Facebook page or business page in order to get it to perform better and also do more of what you want to do. So in other words, if you're trying to grow your business or get more inquiries and that sort of thing, you sort of set things up on your page so that happens more often. Now, this is actually a Facebook page. I have a few Facebook pages for myself, for customers, and this is one I run for my local web design business. And the way it works, I want to run through a few basic things first and just get into some of the nitty-gritty as we go. Now, the first thing you'll notice is, first of all, you want to make sure you got your images on there. Like this is just covering the basic first. For here, you want, if you're a personality, you want a picture of you. For example, the name of the business is my name, so I've got a photo of me. If you have a logo instead, you want to have a logo. Like one of my other pages, Creator Impact, has a logo there instead, the Creator Impact logo. So I want to make sure you've got something there on your ID that's going to be memorable and unique to you, something that identifies you as your brand, so that way when people see it, they can see that it's you to a degree anyway, at a glance without actually reading your name. And the second one is, the second optimization to make is to make sure that your image here actually serves a purpose. Because if people visit your page and they're trying to do some research on whether or not they want to hire you for something, if you are a business, they're going to want some information. And a lot of people, small businesses, are putting photos up, and sometimes the photos don't really tell the story. So some places will actually just have a photo of people working or the staff, and while that's a very community-based sort of thing, it doesn't tell a customer what it is you do. In some instances, like for example, if you're a builder, having a photo of a house on there, like a house plan or a render, can sort of help, because if you're obviously a builder in the name and there's a photo of the house, people can see the type of housing you build. What I ultimately recommend is actually getting some information on that page. You'll see here, I've got my logo on here, which I whipped up pretty quickly. I've got information on what I do, and I've got my contact details, which is basically, it's kind of like the call to action and what I do, improve your image and grow your business. So I've basically got there what I do and how to contact me. So that is one thing I highly recommend for your image, is actually having contact methods, information on what you do, and if even a call to action. If you are running a blog or something and you want people to sign up for your newsletter to download, say, a free PDF checklist or something, pop that on there as well. Like download this free checklist, maybe even draw a little arrow pointing down to the button, which is the next tip. Set up the button on your page. Once again, my primary call to action on this page is to get people to contact me. So I've got a contact us button that basically it links to my contact page on the website, I'm pretty sure. So if I test the button, you'll see it goes to the contact page on my site, so I can go on a bit more information. So now, I'm not saying you should necessarily set that up that way, but it's really great if you are trying to get people onto an email list or something like that, because it's right there, it's easy, it's at the click of a button, and it's a nice convenient way for people to be able to act on what it is that you're actually trying to do. Now on that, my next tip is yet another basic one, is to basically edit your page info. When you're on your page, head to page info here, open it up, make sure you fill that out. So you can see here, I've got like the name of my business, I've got a username, which are actually my next two tips as before we continue going. Have some keywords in your name, so when people search, you can actually show up in search. I've actually got a Facebook page that talks about martial arts movies, continually gets likes just on autopilot because the name is called martial arts action movies. It just continues to have people search and find it very naturally that way, so it grows pretty much effortlessly. But that's one more point. The next one is actually to set up your username. So when you're on page info, you do want to set up a username, because then you can have a nice easy address to push if you have any printed material. Facebook.com/WadeLMcMaster is mine. So getting a username set up, great tip for improving your Facebook page presence. And then going through, adding in your description. So make sure you got a description of what you do, maybe even where you are if you're targeting a particular area. My work's Australia-wide, even though it says here Fraser Coast based. That's why I put Fraser Coast based, because I do work all over the world, but I'm based in the Fraser Coast. So filling out your description, adding in your 3 categories, making sure you've got your contact methods in there. Now, if you have a place of business you want people to visit, put that in there. Fill out as much of this as you can, as accurate as you can, to match what it is you want to do. If you don't want people calling you, don't add a phone number. If you don't want people coming up to your doorstep, I work from home, I don't want that, so I put that in there. So filling out your page info is a really great way because it just makes your profile more complete. And if people go looking for information, it's easier to find because it's all in the places where it should be. And make sure you use plenty of keywords in your descriptions and names and things like that so you're easy to find is a great way to do that. Now, if you are a business that is on Facebook, the chances are that you are getting people messaging you. So my next tip, and I've got a full video dedicated to this, but I'll touch on it quickly. So I'm going to go into settings. I'm going to go to messaging. And I'm going to set up automated messages. So if you have people constantly contacting you on Facebook, now if you're open to this, that's great. I like to set up you can set up a greeting. So when people rock up, they can see, you can tell them what it is you do. You can greet them, which is pretty handy. But where I really want to go down to is automated responses. So when I click on set up automated responses, you want to set up an away message. So I actually go in here, click edit, and you can set up some times here for when you're actually going to be away by adding in these times, sort of like one at a time, choosing the days. So that way you can actually be active for your business hours, which is this spot here. So that way if anyone contacts you on Facebook outside of business hours, they'll get a message. You can see when your business hours are, which I've got here, and then you can set up an automatic response. Now one thing you could do with that also is even say, hey, look, why don't you send me an email or something like that. One thing I do is I go to instant reply here, and I've done this for a customer. I've just mentioned this in another video actually, and that they had a Facebook page. They're very hands-on with their business in person and can't be on Facebook very often at all. So they've actually got an instant reply saying, hi, thank you for messaging us. We can't reply to you here anytime soon. Please send me an email or give us a call we are more likely to respond. Now that has actually solved a lot of issues for them with people trying to contact them. So going through setting up an instant reply, putting in contact information or your location, setting up frequently asked questions. Now this is something that's good for your website as well as your Facebook page. Another tip, going in there, making sure that you set up frequently asked questions, because if you get asked the same question all the time, the more places you put it, say, like I said, on your website or on your Facebook page, then the more likely people are going to be able to find that without having to contact you. So it becomes a time-saving thing there as well. And then, of course, you can have response to people who recommend you and that sort of thing. So going through and using your automated messages is another great tweak to optimize your Facebook page. So I'll head back to my page. Another thing that is really handy is to optimize your posting. So the first optimization is just to be consistent, which I am actually not that good at. My business runs pretty flat out, and a lot of the time I drop the ball. I don't post for a long time, and it's nothing really happens. But if I keep it consistent, I've always got new inquiries and things rolling in through Facebook, so I know it's working. And so you want to keep consistency with your posts. And the next optimization is with those posts, post more images and more videos if you can. Now this is one of those situations where if you do just take a photo with your phone, that's cool. You don't have to add text all over it and design it up. You can which that works too, but you can take a photo, talk about something interesting that happened to you or something that's interesting and relevant to your page, and that's a great way to get people interested. And that leads to the next optimization, which is using your insights. So if I head over here to the left into insights. Now, if this is a lot to take in, I will be popping a link below with a blog post, or I'll actually create a downloadable PDF you can download and print, so that way you can keep all of these on side, so that way you can sit down and do all this stuff. So I haven't been consistent on this page, but you'll see you can go into your insights, and there's all this information here about what's working, what's not. So you got your page summary actions on the page. I've had one action on this page. Like I said, I haven't been consistent, so it hasn't been totally optimized. But you can go to your followers and get information about your followers or people who like your page, that sort of thing. You can go to your posts and see which ones are performing best. You can see when people are online. With this page, most of the people who are actually my audience are actually online, believe it or not, at 2 a.m., which is surprising. And then of course 3 p.m. onwards, and there's this big gap here when everyone's at work. and not using Facebook, or shouldn't be using Facebook. So that's when my audience is mostly online. You're going to posts and seeing that, and then you can see which posts work the best. So I have this post here. You can see this post is from well over a year ago, almost 18 months ago. So you can see how active I've been on this page in terms of being inconsistent. But it's good for the purpose of the video. But you can see how much reach it has, the interaction, 200 and something likes. And you can go through and see what works best. You can see by hovering down here a link. You can see here a photo. This here, nothing. Photo. So you got an idea of what works best in type. So a video, just a plain text status, or you can see what topics are working best for you and go through that way. So explore your insights, have a dig around in there, because it gives you information and you can see what is working and what's not, and use that to better plan your posts and optimize those posts to reach more people. Now, another one I want to go through is, if I go back to my page again, you see here I've got about, notes, and photos. The thing is, I don't really use notes in my business here. And I definitely want more photos because I'm a designer. I also want my posts. So if I click on here, we've got events, videos. There's a few things I really want people to see first. So I want to change and optimize the order of my tabs. So the way we do that is basically by going into settings, templates and tabs, and you can basically reorder these as you see fit. I can move notes down. If you see different options to what I see here, you can go into edit and change to a different, say I click on standard, I can apply that template. It's actually the current template, so I don't have to worry about that. And I can create an order of how I want things to look. So I can go photos, and then I can have about, and then it used to be posts. Here we are, posts. Put posts in there, videos, and now I've got a better order of what I want to do. I can turn on services if I want to, and you've got a services tab there, but I'm just going to leave that for now. So you can go through and turn these on if you have a shop, like a Facebook shop. I'm not going to get into that. Groups that you're linked with this page, you can pop that on there. So you can actually optimize your page as to what information on these tabs you want to push sort of more often. So that way I've done this, it's already saved. So if I just head back to my page and I refresh, you see now I have photos, about, events. So posts are already up there, but you see I can show people my photos and things that I've done. So that's one thing you can do. Another way you can optimize your page and improve the experience for people who land on it, and basically get them going. Now, one thing I wanted to backtrack on, if you are looking to be consistent with your posts, what you can do to further optimize your page is use a tool like buffer.com. I have got a video on that, but if you're looking to schedule posts, you don't want a tool, you just want to schedule posts, you can go over here to publishing tools. So if I click on publishing tools, now I can actually go here and create a post. So if I create this post, like this is my post, I can go down where it says share now, I can change that to schedule, and I can set a date and schedule that post. That's basically how you can schedule posts. So you can sit there and schedule for the week. If you've got a number of posts you want to get out during the week, you can schedule those. And that way you don't have to try and remember to post them. You can just schedule them out and they'll automatically pump out through the week. So that's another way you can optimize your Facebook page and the way it performs in order to basically improve the experience for everyone. All right, so I'm just going to head back. Now another one you want to do quickly, just very quickly, check out page quality every so often. You can see here we've got no restrictions or violations, but every now and then it's good just to have that there and just check. So that way if there's anything on your page that shouldn't be there that's causing trouble, we don't want to upset the machine, Facebook. So you do want to get in there and make sure that you don't have any violations. So that's another just quick one for you, a little side tip. But what you want to do now is go into your settings. There's a whole bunch of things here you want to check out. I'm going to focus on just a few of them. The first one is visitor posts. So now we're getting into, I guess, more advanced tips, but they're also a little bit nitpicky. So if you've got people who are constantly posting on your page with things you don't want them to post, or sort of polluting the experience or getting just weird posts on your page, you can turn them off by disabling posts by other people altogether, or you can actually set it up to review. So you have to review the posts before they're published on your page. So this actually makes your page cleaner and more focused on what you want to actually post, and that way people aren't getting on there and doing, visitor posts of just junk and bits and pieces. If you have a really big page, people will go onto it and try and promote their stuff on your page. So this could be powerful if you just want to basically nip that one in the bud. So the other one is obviously others tagging this page. You want to make sure that is turned on, because that way people can tag your page, and then people can obviously share information about it, and people will link off and like your page. So that way you got a friend named Bill, shares your page, tags you, or shares a photo, tags your business. Then people can see that, click that link to your page, follow through, check out your page, and like it. So you want to make sure you got that one turned on, because that's a really good, really good feature. It's usually turned on by default, so you don't have to worry about too much, but it's always good to check these things out. Finally, profanity and page moderation. So if you have people commenting, sharing links, or anything, you can upload a comma separated file as well, but you can add in words that you don't want people to say in the comments. And then if someone says talks about a particular drug, which is often talked about on the internet, in your comments, putting this in here, you can basically stop that, and it won't post as long as that word is in there. And in the same vein as that, under your profanity filter, you can turn that on so people can't swear in the comments and drop certain 4-letter words you don't want them to say. So that's another way to keep the page clean, and that way when people get your post, if the comments are just awful and people get turned off, they may end up unfollowing or unliking your page if there's just foul language and just people promoting rotten things on there. So that's a good one to further clean up your page and get it under control. Okay, so those are my main tips just for optimizing your Facebook page. It's nothing too crash hot, nothing fancy, just basically being complete, going through, checking out your options, and making sure you've got all the information and control in there that you want. Every so often, checking some of those key points is great, but it just means that you're basically going to set things up so that way you can be found with those keywords. You can tell people how to contact you. You can tell them what you do, and you can clean up the delivery so that way people aren't commenting and using things, saying certain things you don't want them to say. Really cleaning up your message and controlling that message so that way you can do things the way you want to do. So a little bit all over the place, but you get the idea. Once again, if you want to download that, I've got a link below. It'll take you to a blog post, and also I'll have a PDF that you can download and print, and that way you can print this out and have that little checklist to the side if you want to go through your Facebook page without having to constantly check back or watch the video and that sort of thing. So I hope you found that video useful. If you did, please give it a like. Also, if you have any other optimizations that you think should be used on a Facebook page, please leave a comment below. Any questions, leave a comment below. I'm not an expert on social media on Facebook. What I do on this channel basically is try to help you get through the basics with some of the advanced stuff I know I'll share as well. But if I can help, I will. So ask the question, and I'll talk to you again soon. And of course, if you want more videos like this, please subscribe. So thank you for watching, and I hope to talk to you again soon.